What's going on, everyone? Tanner from Massenomics, recording in the Massenomics Fulfillment Center. And today I want to talk to you about why you should sign up and compete in your first powerlifting meet. Now, this is a topic that's very fresh on mind as we just wrapped up the 2023 Massenomics Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic Powerlifting event right here in Western Northeast South Dakota. We had a blast. Make sure to go check out all of our videos on that on our YouTube channel here. We've got several documenting it. It was like a 3-day long lifting event / party where we brought in lifters from all over North America. If you like those videos, give them a like, leave them a comment, and make sure you're subscribing to our channel. Now, in the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic, we had a whole bunch of lifters that it was their first time ever competing in powerlifting.
First time?
I made a point to talk to as many of those first-time lifters as possible, and I don't think there was any regrets about competing across the field. So when I say you should get signed up and compete in your first powerlifting meet, I want to be clear who I'm talking to here. If you have no interest in powerlifting, zero interest in ever competing, you know that's just not for you. I'm not saying this to pressure people like that into signing up. I don't want to pressure anyone. Quite the opposite. Who I'm talking to is the lifters out there that are maybe a little on the fence, or they've been considering it, or they're humming and hawing, or they feel like they have these built-in reasons that they've built up why they shouldn't do it. What I want to do is take the pressure off of you and let you know now is the time that you should be doing it. Mostly, if not all of those reasons that you have against it are bogus.
Bogus.
So if you're even considering it or think it might be something you want to try, and you have as little as 6 to 12 months of at least consistent and purposeful training in, I think you're going to have a good time doing it. So I want to go over a couple of the real life reasons that people tell me all the time about why they shouldn't or won't or don't want to compete. Number one on the list, you've probably all heard it, but this is what I hear. Tanner, you know what? I'd really like to compete someday, but me, I'm just not strong enough. Let me tell you the great news. You are strong enough already. There aren't any special thresholds of numbers where you need to be hitting at least a 300-pound squat or a 400-pound squat or a 225 bench or any other made-up numbers about any of the lifts. Those don't exist.
It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
And here's the best part. Those thresholds don't exist, and nobody thinks or feels like that at a meet. None of the lifters, none of the judges, none of the spectators, especially none of the other lifters, are going to talk that way. They're not going to make a comment like, oh man, you only squatted 340 today. You really should have waited another year to sign up. Nobody. I've been around a lot of meets, a lot of competitions, and no real lifters talk or think like that. The only people that do that are losers.
You are one pathetic loser.
People that are never going to have the balls themselves to get out and compete on the platform. It's people that are potentially jealous of you or looking for reasons to put other people down. Real lifters do not talk or act like that. So your first reason of not being strong enough yet, out of here. Not a valid reason. The other thing I hear all the time is I'm worried about what place I'm going to get. I'm not going to place high enough in the powerlifting meet.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That is such the wrong way of thinking, in my opinion, when it comes to powerlifting. And here is why. The placing that you get in powerlifting depends far more, in most cases, on who else has signed up rather than how you actually even performed. Powerlifting is very much a you versus you sport. That is the best way to look at it. You are trying to improve on yourself over time. You know, maybe that's increasing your squat, increasing your bench, increasing your deadlift, increasing all of them, or maybe you're improving your body composition and still maintaining certain numbers. You know, there's a number of ways to look at that other than just the weight on the bar going up. So it's you versus you, but here's what happens. There can be nobody else signed up in your weight class. It happens a lot of times in your certain particular drilled down subdivision. There's nobody else, so you get first place. You get a first place medal.
Yeah, I've won. Ah!
That's great. That's fine. At our meet, we gave away a ton of medals, a ton of awards. It was a lot of fun. People like to get that stuff. But here's how I like to look at it. If you have nobody else in your class, you have the worst meet you could possibly have. You know, you just tanked, all your numbers sucked.
You suck, you jackass.
And you get first place. You know what's better than that? Having a whole bunch of people in your weight class, getting dead last, but having a great meet for yourself. You hitting PRs across the board and not even coming close to place and getting no medals. I would take that 10 days out of 10.
I gave it a 10. A 10.
I would much rather have the achievement of hitting good numbers for myself than for getting a first place trophy and having shit numbers. So stop worrying about what place you're going to get. Just go out there, especially in your first meet. You're just trying to set a baseline of numbers. You haven't competed yet. You don't actually have a set powerlifting number of squat, bench, deadlift that you've done in a meet. That's what you're going to get in this first one. You're going to get on the board in each of those categories, and then you're going to try to improve those numbers from there if you choose to compete again. Now, a couple other notes. You don't need a perfect program. Like I said towards the beginning, train for 6 months, 12 months. Just train consistently, train hard. Be squatting, be benching, be deadlifting, and be working on your technique. Be working on everything that you're doing. Be focused. Make it a real effort that you're getting better. There's a whole bunch of programs out there that'll probably work, especially when I'm talking to people that are relatively at the beginner level. A lot of it works. The most important part of it is just being consistent and just working kind of hard in the gym, you know, showing up your 3, 4, 5 days a week and putting in the effort. You could be on starting strength, 5-3-1, Jackals, which has been a popular one of ours. We actually are sponsored by Juggernaut AI. So we always encourage people to try Juggernaut AI. We have a discount code there. It's Massenomics. It'll save you 10%. But my point is, you don't have to use Juggernaut AI. You could use so many different things, especially in the beginning. Just train hard. And here's probably my favorite takeaway from doing your first meet, why you would want to do your first meet. It is fun.
Because it's fun. We're having fun.
You get a chance to be a competitor again. You know, for anyone that maybe played high school or college sports or anything where you get to get out there and be on the competition platform, you get this adrenaline rush that you just can't recreate from other places, no matter how hard you try to sometimes. And when you're done, you have this sense of accomplishment, of a little bit of like self-pride, knowing that you did it. And sure, you're probably going to make some mistakes.
I'm sorry, I fudged up, guys.
It would almost be a weird first meet if somebody didn't maybe miss a command. You know, there's going to be all these rules. You're going to be needing to wear these certain articles of clothing. You'll figure all that stuff out. And if you make a few mistakes, that's okay. It's your first meet. You'll learn from that and be able to build on that going forward. And lastly, the reason that I like competing, it helps push your training in a way that you just can't almost without the competition out there. You know, when you know you're 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, 2 months away from competing, you just lift differently almost. It's hard to explain. You'll know it when you feel it. You'll know what those training days are like. You know, there's a little bit of extra oomph that you get out of it when you just know you've got this deadline that you've got to make it by. So I encourage you to try. It'll probably help you get stronger than what you can do without the competition. That's my 2 cents on why any of you that are on the fence, have been thinking about it for a while, thinking about competing in powerlifting, why you should get out there and try your first meet. Please leave me a comment below. Let me know if you agree with some of this. Let me know if you disagree. Any experienced lifters, add your 2 cents into it. What else did I miss here? There's probably a lot more to it. I think there's a lot to be gained out of competing. Thanks for listening to this video. Make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. We're working on a YouTube channel, new video every single week. We also got the Massenomics podcast. If you've never listened to that, please check that out. There's a new episode there every single Monday. You can find it on our YouTube channel or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And then lastly, check out Massenomics.com. That's where we sell all our merchandise that's sitting around behind me, beside me. Buy a shirt, buy a pair of shorts, buy a drink spotter, buy it all.